Hello, welcome back to Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. Back doing another show after a nightmare morning. I'm just glad to be able to do a show. Anyway, today I want to talk about something that relates to the TCG market, collecting TCG cards, whether it be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you name it. And if you're tired and irritated about cards, card shows, sports cards, non-sports cards, TCG, the endless rollouts, the endless, spend massive amounts of money when you should, more money than your monthly utility bills, mortgage, whatever, for one box. You begin to question, where is this all going? And when it comes to Pokemon, what I have noticed about Pokemon and just TCG in general is it's almost like there's a hypnotist going around to all the Pokemon collectors, fans, and they stop by the Pokemon fans and collectors' house about once a month. Or maybe, I would say maybe once to twice a week, I should say. Not once a month. About twice a week. Pokemon, hypnotist comes in. And what does the Pokemon hypnotist do? Well, there's always this constant stream of endless Pokemon releases now, isn't there? And what I get is everyone involved in Pokemon has to forget everything from the past month to 2 months. Why? Never happened. Why? Because it's all about the next flavor of the week, unfortunately, when it comes to Pokemon. And that's why I don't even understand why people are grading their Pokemon cards, to be honest. Yeah, maybe there's going to be some interested collectors in the future. But I have a lot of Pokemon slabs on eBay right now for sale. Not getting hardly any bites at all. I get a lot of views, just like I do with all my Pokemon products on eBay. I get all these views, this and that. But what is it about the Pokemon buyer why you just can't, click the button to buy, And what I've found about Pokemon buyers is do they want everything for free? I tend to believe they do. I mean, if you go on Whatnot, you have a whole community of, Pokemon buyers that really just game the system. They don't really want to spend any of their money. But I'm beginning to understand why they don't want to spend any of their money. Why is that? Well, you are cursed in the Pokemon realm if you remember last year's products. You are cursed in the Pokemon realm if you remember 3 months of products. I would even say you are cursed in the world of Pokemon if you remember last month's releases, because it's not about them. And the reason why I say that is, do you even know what's being released coming up? Because Journey Together is coming up for the big release. But it's not about even Journey Together. It's about Destined Rivals. It says here, this is from the Poke Beach, your ultimate Pokemon TCG fan site, which honestly, I don't know if it is, because there's a lot of fan sites for Pokemon. Anyway. Prepare for trouble, twerps. Destined Rivals has been officially revealed as our 10th Scarlet and Violet set. This is following last week's reveal of Japan's The Glory of Team Rocket. As posted before, Destined Rivals will release on May 30th. Pre-releases will take place from May 17th to May 25th. What about Journey Together? What about the Azure Legends tin that everyone's going so crazy about? Azure Legends. No. It's all about chasing the future flavor of the week. Now, I know that when Destined Rivals is getting ready to be released, it will likely just be forgotten Why? Because it's going to be about the next flavor of the week and chasing those illustration cards. And then you're going to go ahead and you're slabbing up your illustration cards from Journey Together, Azure Legends, whatever, the Azure Legends 10. Nobody's buying them. Why? Because it's not about that anymore. It's about Destined Rivals. And that is why I tend to believe collecting and slabbing up a lot of these Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards is kind of a joke. I like TCG. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be playing it all the time, even at my, middle-aged person, but it's really not about playing it anymore. It's about, reselling it and slabbing it up and, hyping it up on YouTube or whatever. I've even asked myself in the world of Pokemon, am I having issues? I can't seem to direct my attention on anything specific. It's not like sports cards where we're chasing the Jaden Daniels card of 2024 that people are still chasing. No. It's always going to be about chasing the flavor of the week on TCG. Even, I would say, the flavor of the day, and forget everything else. Because if you want to try to sell some of your old, illustration cards, you're just made out to be a fool in the world of Pokemon. They'd be like, what are you holding on to that for? It's not about old cards. It's all about the new cards. That's why, even the original 1999 Pokemon cards have been swept under the rug with collectors in the realm of Pokemon. Why? Because the Pokemon hypnotist came around and you will forget this set. You will forget that set. It's always about the next set. Even when we're on the verge of releasing another set, you're going to forget that set because it's on the verge of the next set. And then after that, Destined Rivals. And and that's kind of where, and I know, Dan the Card Man kind of jumps on it too. And that's the fact that everyone grades the stuff, but who's going to be collecting the stuff down the road, Do you think 100 years from now, someone's going to be, waking up in the morning and going, man, I just have to have the certain illustration card from those Pokemon Azure Legends tins or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, their 1 millionth Scarlet and Violet sets, Destined Rivals. It's a good thing you're slabbing it up for that guy, huh? I'd say just save your money. I just sell raw illustration Pokemon cards. I do just as good selling raw illustration Pokemon cards as slabbed up illustration Pokemon cards online. I don't even see the point of grading Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or anything anymore. It's kind of funny when you get into it. And I know there's a lot of people jumping ship, from sports cards to Pokemon. But, let's just go through, this is from, I guess, ICV2. They're trying their best to keep up with all these releases, through the year, They just have quarter 1, quarter 2 of 2025 releases. So let's go through some of this. All right. Does anybody remember Prismatic Evolutions? Anybody? It was released on January 17th, 2025. Scarlet and Violet Prismatic Evolutions. I never see anyone really talk about it anymore at all. How about another big release, the Scarlet and Violet Blooming Waters Premium Collection? Does anyone even see anybody collecting any of that stuff like Blooming Waters? It just got swept under the rug. Then we have the Pokemon TCG stacking tin displays. Okay, stack the cash wrap. But then on February 21st, 2025, I even did a video on it. It was the Azure Legends tin cases. That may as well have been 30 years ago, man. Nobody wants that stuff. I just went to my Walmart today. Last time I was there, they had these Azure Legend tins. They were sitting there. They're still sitting there. And I was there, 3 days ago? No one's buying them. Why? Gee, I wonder why. Then we have the 2024 World Championship decks released on March 7th, 2025. All right. March 20th, 2025. And it's almost like they have completely swept Journey Together under the rug like it's not even being released. Then we come to Hop's Zacian EX box being released on March 20th, 2025. But then we're at quarter two. That's just quarter one. Let's see what's going to hit the market early in quarter two. Because they're going to likely keep adding on to it. And then quarter three, quarter four. So we have the Charizard EX Special Collection coming out on April 7th, 2025. Then we have Iono's Bellabolt EX Premium Collection being released on April 11th, 2025. Then we have Lily Premium Tournament Collection being released on April 25th, 2025. And then we have the Dragapult EX League Battle Deck being released on April 25th, 2025. And this isn't even getting close to when Destined Rivals is supposed to hit now, is it? And so I don't want to be mean to anybody. If you have attention deficit disorder, that is definitely, my brother has it. He's been diagnosed with it. I've never been diagnosed with it. But when it comes to Pokemon, I almost feel like I'm going down that road. I get stuff mixed up. It's like, wait a sec, what's going on here? My brain doesn't work right with all these Pokemon releases. And then if you try and, follow these Pokemon, the big hosts of Pokemon shows, on YouTube, I mean, it's like there have been some big releases, to hit the market of Pokemon, within the past 2 years. But all of them are just like completely forgotten. Oh, that's last week's sauce. We need the new sauce. And this is why I think if you want to really legitimize TCG, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, this and that, you're going to struggle to really legitimize it as something that's really awesome to collect. Why is that? Because there just isn't a lot of interest on a lot of the former released Pokemon products. And you just really see the whole Pokemon community. It's like yep, here's a new one. Out it goes in the garbage. Where's the next new one? Oh, I enjoyed it for 2 minutes. Out it goes. It's all about the next release with Pokemon. And to me, that's a death spiral for collectors. It's a death spiral overall for value. It's a death spiral for, keeping your interest in the TCG market, And I know that, I've been on Whatnot. These people just love wasting all their money on Pokemon cards. Oh, here's another deal. Here's another deal. And they don't want to spend anything on Whatnot. Why? Because, I'm starting to understand why. You don't want to spend any money on Pokemon cards. Why? Because it's all about the flavor of the week. It's not about, your slabbed up Pokemon, card that you love, It's not about Charizard. It's not about Pikachu. It's not about what you like in this market if you're trying to sell stuff. The only thing that matters in the realm of Pokemon is the future releases, the release of the day, because just like all these releases that have been put out this year in 2025, pretty much they're just forgotten. They're forgotten within days of the release. They're even forgotten before the release. I'm pointing my fingers at Journey Together. It's just like, they've acted like this thing's been released. It's done. It's over with. It's cooked, boys. It's time to go home. And I just go, you know what? There's a reason why I've pulled back my spending on sports cards and TCG. Why is that? Well, I'm looking at buying vehicles, flipping vehicles, investing money in vehicles. Why? It's what adults do. This is for kids. Tricks are for kids, people. Pokemon is for kids. Playing these little release games is for kids. It's not meant for adults. Adults have to survive, you know. And the world of sports cards is trying to act like the realm of Pokemon as well. Don't pretend they're not. I mean, I do Whatnot shows. I mean, you can have awesome sports stars, you know, big sports stars from, you know, the 2010s, whatever. People don't care about it. It's always about the next chase. Jane Daniels, you know. And then after the Jane Daniels chase, it will be about some other rookie card chase. And then people with Jane Daniels will be sitting there, you know, like, I thought everybody was chasing Jane Daniels. Yeah, that was just 2 years ago, dummy. Wake up. And I'm still, you know, selling stuff online. You know, I'm moving stuff. But where is this all going? And that's just it. When it comes to collecting Pokemon cards and slabbing them up, it's really hard to say it's not a joke. Because it really is a joke. Because it's almost like, why slab something up that doesn't matter? You know, like I said, I do just as good selling raw Pokemon illustration cards as slabbed up illustration Pokemon cards, you know. And that's why I tend to believe that this idea of always chasing, you know, bumpers, always chasing the next release with Pokemon, and just literally just forgetting very recent sets, even sets that are supposed to be getting released soon, in favor of the next set and the next set. It's a joke. Don't pretend it's not. I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. If you're in your 20s, if you're in your teens, if you're in your 30s, maybe you don't see it yet. You know, I watch, you know, Neo. Neo has a TCG channel. I don't know how he does it, you know, to be quite honest, at his age. Good luck with that channel. Especially, you know, because he's getting older too. And these constant releases, you know, of Pokemon this. And let's forget even the next release, you know. Why? In favor of the next release. It's really not a very good collecting environment. And if it's not a good collecting environment, where's that going to leave you with all your investments? You know, I mean, you can get on YouTube and, you know, these big Pokemon gurus, they cry and cry and cry about scalping, you know. And, you know, I have some sealed product I'm trying to sell too. They get a lot of views on eBay. The sealed product does, but they're a bunch of cheapskates. You know, that's the Pokemon buyer. I see the same Pokemon buyers on Whatnot. They are the cheapest buyers of any card set, in my opinion. They really are. They are I mean, yes, you get into sports cards, you run into some cheapskates there, but man, you just don't run into the amount of cheapskates that you do in the Pokemon environment. And maybe it's because they're always chasing bumpers. They're always chasing the next bumper sticker. They're always chasing the next release. Even the release beyond the next release. You know, it's just like they're already sweeping the next release under the rug. They haven't even really ripped it open. And when you get older and you're looking for things that you can hold on to, that are important, that mean a lot, especially when it comes to collecting, man, chasing the flavor of the week with Pokemon products, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It really does. It's just like, what am I doing? You know? At this point, like I said, it's springtime. I'm looking at vehicles, buy a car, buy a truck. I will spend some money, you know, and try to resell it. Probably sell the vehicle I'm driving right now. It's what adults do. And I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to say it. I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. Tricks are for kids. And that's what the Pokemon realm is all about, is tricks. Don't pretend the Topps Fanatics thing is any different. Tricks are for kids. Same with Panini. And if you want to grow up, eventually you're going to start to see the stuff for what it really is. And you want to know what it really is? A joke. It really is. And the biggest joke is Pokemon and chasing the flavor of the week. It is for idiots only. Enjoy. I hope you do. I hope you find everything you want chasing your flavors of the week and forgetting about everything you slabbed up 2 weeks ago. Sweeping that under the rug. Why even bother slabbing it up? I mean, it's all about the next Pokemon illustration card. Don't pretend it's not. Anyway, if you have any different opinions on this, leave some comments. Thank you to all my recent subscribers and my subscriber base in general. You're awesome. You're the whole reason why I even have a channel. If you're a viewer and you haven't subscribed, like 85 to 90% of my viewers, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. I can begin to improve the channel. I can get monetized. I can grow. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Bye.